With Beyond the Grid starting next week, and now that the Shattered Grid event is over, I thought it would be a fun idea to take a look at where every single Power Rangers team stands after the event, as well as give a guess of where that team was taken in that series timeline. What I mean is that it is clear that for several teams, their teams have been taken during the middle of the season, as is the case with the In Space team, or after the season, which would be Time Force. Before anything else, I must say there is a lot of Power Rangers, and while a lot of research was done, there is a chance I still could have missed a step or two. Additionally, a lot of the work has already been done by mmmasian, an awesome Reddit user that gave me the idea to make this video after reading his post. With that,
let's get things started! Ready? Go!
As this comic takes place during the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers era, we do have Zack, Trini, Billy, Kimberly, and Grace, the Red Ranger from the 1960s, active by the end of the event. Tommy, however, started off the event killed. As well as possibly Jason, as when he used the Q-Rex Megazord to take down the generator that was giving Lord Dragon's sentries their powers, the sword was eaten by Serpentera, leaving his status unknown right before the end of the battle. The Dragon Sword battle mode was eaten by Serpentera as well. However, everyone inside the sword, being the other 4 Rangers, are fine. Additionally, Zordon and Rita is knocked unconscious by Finster 5 by the end of issue 30. And for those wondering, all of Rita's henchmen, such as Squat, Babu, and Finster, are accounted for, except for Goldar, who had left Rita's services before the event started. Alpha 5 is also fine in this one, which can't be said for other Alphas. In the world of the Coinless, it is clear that every Ranger team and ally in this world, along with Zack, Jason, and Billy, are killed, while Trini is seen using Black Dragon armor during the final battle, and Kimberly is seen with Grace at the end of issue 30. Bulk, as part of the Resistance, is seen alive, however, Skull is not, having personally been killed by Lord Dragon. Additional members of the Coinless, including Aisha and Kat, is seen with the Resistance, but stayed out of the final battle. In fact, Trini is the only one from the Coinless that is part of the final battle. The Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, the Rangers of Aquitar, specifically 2 of them, are seen helmetless. Oracle is seen in issue 30 getting his morpher enhanced, but Sistro, the blue Aquitar Ranger, was seen being defeated by Lord Draken and having his powers stolen. Having said that, he was out of the Shogun Megazord, which the team was using during the final battle. And while it is hard to tell, there is a chance this Megazord was shown destroyed, being that it's unclear which Megazord this hand is from. Although this character is most likely from a different universe than this team of Rangers, Ninja is also seen knocked unconscious by Finster 5 during issue 30. For the Alien Rangers, it's not exactly clear where in the timeline this Rangers team is taken from, but presumably it's during their time on Earth having taken over for the Rangers as they are using the Shogun Megazord, as it is unclear if they have access to the Zord afterwards, specifically as they did not use it during the team-up with the Zeo Rangers. Speaking of the Zeo Rangers, their team is taken directly at the end of their season, when Jason gave up his gold powers back to Trey of Triforia. As such, it is Trey that is in the gold Ranger suit, as seen in the event, while Adam is not part of the event, as his powers were stolen by Lord Dragon, but not in the way that you expect, but in the way of him, well, carelessly leaving his morpher on the table for Lord Dragon to take, which allowed him to make the green sentries for use as part of his army. Zeo era Tommy's morpher was most likely also taken by Lord Dragon and is killed by him. Rocky, all the way up into the final battle, is alive, but is last seen lying on the floor, presumably killed in action during the finale. As such, Trey, Ashley, Kat, Alpha 5, and Zordon of that era is what remains of the Zeo team after the battle. with Ashley specifically planning to play a big part of the series moving forward. As for Turbo, the only one that we can confirm is the Phantom Ranger from this season. With this lack of information on the team, we can only assume this season has at least taken place after the power transfer, as the Phantom Ranger is a part of the Ranger team, or possibly right at the very start of the Turbo season, as the Phantom Ranger was around before meeting up with the Turbo team, possibly making the Zeo and Turbo timeline together for this event. However, if I were to make a guess though, this season most likely took place actually at the end of the season, in order to save on the confusion of the same characters using the powers in both Zeo and In-Space teams, if Justin was to show up in the comic in the near future. This doesn't mean that the In-Space team is in a good spot however, as Andros confirmed that Carlos, Ashley, Cassie, and TJ were killed by Lord Draken and his team when they attacked inside the Astro Megaship. Except, Andros didn't confirm that TJ was dead and only assumed, as when we last saw TJ, he was actually captured by Lord Draken on his moon base. Who we did see get killed though was the Alpha 5 of this timeline, as seen crushed by Lord Draken. One other member of the team, Zane, makes this season's placement up for debate. This season either takes place before Zane is woken up from his coma, as we didn't see him in the annual, or was killed off panel, as silver in-space sentries are seen in Lord Draken's army during issue 30. There is, however, a lot of set of Rangers in this season we should be talking about, as both Psycho Blue and Psycho Red is part of this event, but fighting for Lord Draken's side. It is unconfirmed where the rest of the Psycho Rangers are. For Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, Carone and Mike, the Magnet Defender, are the only active members left of the team after a fierce battle with Lord Draken's forces. This means Leo, Maya, Damon, and Kai has either been killed or captured by Lord Draken's forces, with at least 2 of the Morphers taken by Lord Draken for use, alongside other Morphers that we'll be getting to. Carone, being the Pink Galaxy Ranger, also confirms that this season takes place after Kendrix has passed away, but before she returned and was given her powers back by the end of the season. For Lightspeed Rescue, Carter has been seen as an active member of the event since issue 27, but the same can't be said about the rest of his team, as while Chad was last seen fighting Lord Draken's forces in issue 27, his fate, as well as Joe and Dana's, are unknown, either presumably killed or captured by Lord Draken's forces. Such as Kelsey here, having had her powers stolen by Lord Draken. Because Carter uses his Battleizer, we can confirm this takes place while the Titanium Ranger is around, but the fate of Ryan is also unknown, including the fate of most of the Time Force Rangers as shown at the start of the event. Wes, Lucas, Katie, and Trip fell into a time-space fracture, presumably captured or deceased, while Jen is seen as an active member of the Shattered Grid event, and Eric appears when the other Ranger teams show up as reinforcements. This season most likely takes place near the end of Time Force, due to the nature of what Jen talked to Jason about. Or this could also take place after Time Force, due to the possible conversations with future Rangers we will get to. Power Rangers Wild Force. Cole, Taylor, Max, Danny, and Ashley are all seen alongside Eric when Zordon made his call for other Rangers. This also means that the Wild Force Megazord is usable and was used during the final battle. Unfortunately for them, pieces of the Wild Force sword is shown on the floor during the final issue of Shattered Grid. But the team is most likely fine, being how the Mighty Morphin team had their sword eaten by Serpent Terror and is seen fighting on the field afterwards. For the Lunar Wolf Ranger, Murdoch, he is also seen fighting in the battle. His powers were stolen by Lord Draken during the fight in issue 30. Due to the Lunar Wolf being there, however, this team's timeline takes place after he joined the team, but presumably not before Forever Red, as Cole did not use his Wild Force Rider to take out Serpent Terror during the battle. Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Shane, Tori, Dustin, Hunter, Blake, and Cam are all active. Shane is also in his battleizer, which would mean this takes place anytime after he received it in the episode Shane's Karma. Having said that, he was seen alongside other Rangers being blasted directly by Serpentera during the final issue, killing him. We do know, however, that before that, he was using the Thunderstorm Megazord with the other Rangers, but we also know that was defeated, thanks to two pieces of evidence. The first one isn't that solid, and that is the hand of this fallen Megazord. We can't confirm if it was the Shogun Megazord's hand or not, but the second piece of evidence is more clear, as a piece of the Storm Megazord is seen on the Megazord during the climax of the battle. Plus, Shane is seen outside of the Megazord, after all. Dino Thunder, power up, ha! This is an interesting one. For the longest time, it is assumed that this team was attacked during the start of their season, before Tommy Oliver became the Black Ranger, and it will explain why he is not a part of this event. This could have also been confirmed during Zordon's call, as Connor, Ethan, and Kira was the only Ranger seen fighting Lord Draken's forces, with Kira being the only one to make it out of this fight alive presumably, with Connor and Ethan's Morphers seen in Lord Draken's moon base. However, Kira will later be seen blasted by Serpentera also, ending all three Dino Thunder Rangers. Beforehand, however, Kira is seen using Super Dino mode, which puts a strain on this theory that takes place at the start of the season, as Super Dino mode will make this take place after Trent has joined the team, making Tommy Oliver the Black Ranger. And looking, additionally, at the free comic book day issue, we see the Black Dino Thunder Morpher as part of Lord Draken's collection. This will place Dino Thunder at the very least after Tommy Oliver becomes the Black Ranger, and possibly Trent as a Ranger as well, making Kira's Super Dino mode make more sense. SPD Emergency. This one's a little harder to place as well, simply due to the evidence of the Zords. Originally, I had placed this season as most likely taking place after the season, as while Jack, Sky, Bridge, Z, and Sid are still active by the final battle, they did not call for the Megazord to be used, as it was destroyed in that season's finale. There is also Wick 3.0 during the annual, and the C Squad members as seen during issue 29. This would have confirmed why we did not see Sam or the Nova Ranger, being that they left at that time. However, while going through the free comic book day issue, we had a shot that looks like the Omega Ranger Morpher, meaning there is a chance that while Lord Draken was beaten in the first encounter, he did come back for a second encounter while the Omega Ranger was part of the fight, and defeated him, taking his Morpher with him. This could also be what Lord Draken meant when he said, if they had learned anything, ... This is also confirmed with how Bridge mentioned that they can't use their Zords during the first encounter, due to being unable to morph. Being aware of the demorphing canon, they could have chosen to not fight using the SPD forms, until after Dr. K changed their Morphers. However, they did not call for the Megazord, and instead Jack used his battleizer during it. Unfortunately, he, alongside Kira and Shane, were blasted by Serpentera. Doggy Cougar was with Ninja, Zordon, and Rita, and as such was also knocked out. And unfortunately for B Squad, several members of A Squad was also around, being Charlie, the red A Squad Ranger, as well as green and yellow. Blue and Pink is unconfirmed, much like how some of the Cycle Rangers were not seen during this event. With all this information, it does remove my theory that this would take place after the season. Additionally, how Jack stepped down as the Red Ranger and Sky became the Red Ranger.
The SPD Rangers, it's happening during their season because who did Brandon play? The Red?
What?
Yeah, he is still the Red Ranger, and Kruger is, and we're dealing with the B Squad or the A Squad and things like that.
With that, I gathered that SPD's team had the most encounters with Lord Draken's forces. First time in battle with the C Squad with them coming out victorious, with Omega Ranger not part of this fight. Then a second time where Omega Ranger was part of this fight, but was defeated, presumably right after the Megazord was destroyed in the episode Endings Part 1. and before Nova Ranger came to help the Omega Ranger. And that is what Lord Draken is referring to, having underestimated them before. And that could have also been the time when Lord Draken could have taken the Ace Guard to be with his team. And now finally, as part of the current Ranger team, without the Zords but still having their powers. Let's move on to Mystic Force Rangers. And unfortunately, it is a strange one as well, as we see Nick, Chip, Madison, Vita, Xander, and Udana when they came as part of the reinforcements. However, Purple Corax is fighting by Lord Draken's side, when Udana would have become the White Ranger after Korag has been turned to the side of good.
I'd never explicitly said where we pulled Korag from within the Mystic Force timeline, if that makes sense.
We want our cake and eat it too.
While this is their response, I would like to add my own theory in this. As Coinless Kimberly has appeared in Go-Go Power Rangers, which is the same set of powers as our current Mighty Morphin teams, there is a chance that Lord Draken made his presence known during the time Korag was fighting for Evo, and a more later version of the Mystic Force team, which already had Udana as the White Mystic Ranger, chose to appear instead of that timeline's Mystic Force team. That, or Udana gains the White Mystic Force powers much earlier, just like how Jason gains the Dragon Seal much earlier in this timeline. Either way, they have access to the Titan Megazord, although strangely the Yellow Ranger is fighting on the ground and not with the Zord. The fate of the Zord is a little bit of a mystery as well. In the final part of the battle, it was blasted by Serpentera, but the Zord is seen standing with power still in it. However, parts of the Titan Zord is also combined with the Mega Zord, most likely confirming the Zord's deactivation. Moving on to Operation Overdrive, while not stated, it is most likely confirmed that Mac, Will, Ronnie, and Rose have been killed, and Drax is the last remaining member of Operation Overdrive. The main reason I state this is due to interviews with the writer of the comic, Kyle Higgins. As such, it is harder to place a timeline of the series, be it beginning, middle, or end, along with not be able to confirm if the Mercury Ranger or the Sentinel Knight is around at this time. On the flip side, either by reference or visual, the main team of Jungle Fury has an appearance here. Casey is seen fighting Lord Draken's forces alongside Lily. However, he was captured, possibly alongside Dio, as both of the Morphers are seen in the moon base. Dominic has power stolen by Lord Draken, as we can see White Rhino Ranger sentries as part of his army. Although we don't see Lily's Morpher, it can be presumed that she has been captured also, leaving RJ as the only active member of the Jungle Fury team. In that regard, this season will take place most likely before the Spirit Rangers appear, being that they are not part of this battle. RPM, get in gear! It should be no surprise by now how much I mentioned Dr. K, that she is active as part of the Ranger team, as well as Scott, Flynn, Siggy, Dylan, Jem, and Gia are seen as part of the team before reinforcements came. Summer, however, has had her Morpher stolen by Lord Draken, and only Ranger Operator Series Gold, Jem, is shown as part of the final battle without Gemma. However, she does make a vocal and sword appearance talking with Jem in issue 28. As such, it is assumed that she is with the team as well, just not shown for some reason. Due to Summer not being able to use her Morpher, this means the RPM Rangers are not able to form the High Octane Megazord, Power Rangers Samurai, or Power Rangers Super Samurai. Super for being how Lauren is the Red Samurai Ranger at this time, and she is part of the finale. However, Kevin, Mia, Mike, Emily, and Antonio are not, as they have been defeated as a group and had the Morphers taken by Lord Draken. They have either been captured or killed by the Black Ranger sentries. Mentor G and Jaden is mentioned, and being how Lauren is the leader at this time, will make this take place after the Great Duel and before the Sealing Symbol. For Power Rangers Megaforce / Super Megaforce, Troy and Jake has either been captured or killed by Lord Draken's forces, as both of the Morphers can be seen in the moon base, while Noah, Gia, and Emma is seen active in battle, with Gia unfortunately and most likely killed during the finale. Side note, this is especially jarring as both Waki and Gia is dead on the same page, while both of them appeared in the 25th anniversary episode just a day before. As Noah summons the QX Megasword for Jason to use, and this is also seen as something they can do during the episode The Wrath, that they can summon the QX Megasword at Orion, this season most likely takes place right as Orion left to go back to his home planet. For a team of many Rangers, the Dino Supercharged team has quite a lot of them unaccounted for. Tyler, Chase, Shelby, James, and or Philip have either been captured or killed, as one of the Morphers are seen in the moon base, with Zeo Wing's Morpher there as well. Riley is seen fighting Lord Draken's army, and is also unaccounted for afterwards, alongside Ivan, whose Morpher is used to create the gold Dino Charge sentries. Of the team, only Coda, Kendricks, and Heko is part of the final assault. This season most likely takes place after the end of Super Dino Charge, being as Heko gains a Ranger form, which while he did not get at the end of the season, will most likely be explained in an upcoming issue of the main Power Rangers comic. Rangers Zeo, Brody, Kristen, Calvin, Haley, Sarah, and Levi is all seen morphed in thanks to the call by Zordon, with the main five inside the Ninja Steel Megazord, all the way up into the final moments of the battle. Levi, however, did ground battle with Lord Draken and had its power stolen by him. As Lord Draken got what he wanted when he appeared in the Ninja Steel world, Mac, Dane, and Redbot are unharmed. This season clearly takes place at the end of Ninja Steel, presumably before Super Ninja Steel. Now we get to some really interesting ones. Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Quite a surprise to see them appear in this comic before the official TV season, and as such, was confirmed that Boom Studios had no idea this season was even a thing when creating the comic.
They've asked me about like the timeline that Jen shows in issue 26 of like all the Ranger teams that have been inspired, and like how like they're not listed there, and it's like, and if they should read into that, it's like, no, we didn't know they existed. Like, I'm sorry, but there is a logistics side to this that it's like, no, we didn't know they were going to be a thing, and then when they became a thing, I wasn't going to go, well, you know, we didn't listen to them in that timeline, therefore I can't. No, like,
and also it kills the surprise. Like, it's better that you see them for the first time here.
Like,
But was able to get the main three Rangers, Damon, Ravi, and Zoe, in the comic. They are seen active in the battle. At the very least, Zoe is. It is unknown when this takes place, but to take a page out of Gokaiger vs. Gavin, this could be one of their first missions as a team, being their first appearance before their season starts. Power Rangers Hyperforce. Last but surely not least, Marvin, Ellie, Jack, Vesper, Chloe, and Joe all appear as part of the reinforcements to Zordon's call, with this team having a huge influence in the battle against Serpentera. Having said that, while this team is presumably taking place after episode 20 of Hyperforce, being that they are sent instantly to what happened in the comic, Joe is seen as the Green Hyperforce Ranger, when he was still the Silver Time Force Ranger at the time, and wasn't even part of the group, and Vesper appearing in a normal state. There is a chance that during the time before appearing as reinforcement that they did an additional adventure in between, as Vesper was left in a really bad state, yet appears fine when they are standing next to the other Rangers. And there is a chance that Joe appeared later to help, and when the event was over, things kinda got resetted in that season anyways. However, one specific piece of dialogue with Jen Scotts of Time Force presumably means that this Jen is the same one that was also sending Hyperforce on their mission. On the flip side, Chloe could have easily told the younger Jen about her powers before the battle. This is more likely a nod than a straight out saying that our current Time Force takes place in the year 3016, 16 years after the original Time Force season. In that regard, I wouldn't think too hard about this, as during the time of the making of the comic and the time of the making of the RPG, it would have been really hard to keep information correct. Please let me know if I got something wrong or is missing some information. And additionally, with the Beyond the Grid event starting this week, any unencountered Ranger could have a resolution as time moves forward. But at the very least, I hope you had an entertaining time watching this video, as I did making it. Oh, and please let me know what you think about me speaking. This is kind of the first time I've ever done something like this, and I know it needs a lot of work. I hope it was clear enough at the very least. Anyways, till next time.